Thank you for joining us. You're co-producer on Beyond Two Souls. Can you tell us what Can you tell us what a co-producer actually does on a game?
I'm actually the producer. I'm the co-CEO, so I'm managing the company with David Cage.
You're a terrible start.
And as the producer, my role is to oversee the production. And I more specifically take care of everything that's around the game. What I mean by that is everything from, there's a lot of outsourcing involved in creating the game, managing the actors, contacting them, composers, etc., etc. So
everything. You took it all. How would you describe Beyond Two Souls, and what can you tell us about the story or the plot?
Beyond Two Souls is a unique narrative-driven experience on PlayStation 3. It tells the story of Jodie Holmes, a young woman that you're going to follow between the age of 8 and 23, so over a period of 15 years, which is a very long time. And Jodie Holmes has something that is very specific, is the fact that she has a link to an invisible entity. This entity she calls Aiden, and Aiden has the possibility to go through matter, to interact with objects and characters in a different way than us normal human beings. And so you are going to live the life of Jodie Holmes and see the good times and the bad times. And because of her abilities, she's going to live an extraordinary life. And so you, as the player, are going to live an extraordinary life. And you're not going to play only as Jodie Holmes, but you're also going to play as Aiden. And so you're constantly going to switch between one and the other and have both characters collaborate.
Great.
What stage during the game making did you decide to kind of go with Hollywood actors rather than just say hiring voiceover actors?
We always with David had the idea of working with Hollywood artists for many years. We never had the opportunity to convince one to work with us before. But as I said already in the past, the very first actor that we met was Leonardo DiCaprio. It was back in 2004, whom we met, and we tried to explain to him what we were trying to achieve, what the kinds of games that we were making, and we wanted him to be part of one of our games, but we also wanted to understand what it would take for him to join us. And he gave us a number of advices and told us exactly what was important to him, and we've worked continuously over the past few years to be at a level that would enable us to work with such Hollywood actors. The first thing was we needed to be technically ready, and that has been a long journey to be capable of creating believable characters, but also being able to capture their performance and transcribe it into a game in a faithful manner. And so it's only around the development of Heavy Rain that we felt we were ready to do it. And then, so when we started to work on Beyond, David had, really from the onset, the idea of hopefully working with Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe. And so I contacted them and convinced them to be part of the project. It's happened quite naturally and very early on in the project.
What could you say as professional actors that they
Sorry for the long answer.
Oh no, perfect. But what did you say as professional actors that they brought, or did they bring anything to the game themselves in their performance? Or
they brought, to start with, their performance and their immense talent. I think that we're very, very happy with this collaboration. What they brought, there's so many things. First of all, the level of preparation. These actors are not known for no reason. There's a lot of hard work. There's of course sheer talent. There's also a lot of hard work behind this.
Did it push the story in a different direction, like their performances? Did it kind of
not at all.
Form it in a way?
What William says is that he never, what he wants is to be at the disposition of the director. And he didn't, whether nor Ellen changed anything in the story or the dialogue here, or just a few comments here and there, but they were very impressed by David's story and very respectful also of what he had written, and so they've really put themselves at his disposition to create the best possible characterization for those characters.
Okay, there you go. With Heavy Rain, you brought in Move support later on for a more kind of immersive experience. We noticed you didn't bring it on for Beyond Two Souls, and you'll already explain the reason for that. Would you like to explain it again?
Yes, we what is important for us is that we want as many people as possible to experience Beyond, and we believe that because it's a story-driven experience and because we're tackling themes that are really, in our minds, talk to a lot of people, we wanted to find a way to give to casual gamers or even to non-gamers the possibility to experience Beyond. We also had this very strange experience with Heavy Rain, as each time we were meeting people who had played Heavy Rain, most of the time they would tell us that it was the only game that they could share with their wife or with their whatever partner that was a non-gamer. And we thought, well, it's interesting. Now, it's great that you can share the experience, but can't we find a way to really enable non-gamers to play? And we know that the DualShock controller can be, for certain people who are not experienced enough, can be quite a barrier, daunting. And so we tried to think about an alternative device, and quite rapidly we thought, well, most of people today have a touch device, be it a tablet or phone. And so we started to design an interface that would be suitable, and we decided to create an easy mode, and combined with this device, we believe it's perfect to enable non-gamers to experience Beyond. And so today you can play either in single mode with a conventional DualShock controller, but you can also play in dual mode. So each person in the household taking a controller, be it a DualShock controller or a touch device, and turn-based play either Jody or Aiden.
Very impressive.
What kind of length can a player expect to get out of Beyond?
Beyond it's a little bit, on Heavy Rain we used to say 8 to 10 hours. On Beyond it's a little bit more difficult to answer because the game offers far more possibilities for exploration. I would say the minimum playthrough is about 9 hours, and then up to 12 or 13 hours. It's a little bit longer than Heavy Rain.
With the success of Heavy Rain, did you feel any pressure to kind of up yourselves again with Beyond Two Souls? Were you worried at all that people mightn't?
Yes. Right after Heavy Rain, and we're in the middle of the promotion, and just after the release, and that's, I remember a discussion I had with David, telling me, David, that the most difficult part is starting now. I said we need to come up with something that's even more compelling, at least as compelling as Heavy Rain. And so we felt the pressure, but on the other hand, I must say that we also felt the benefit of this commercial success. There's on one hand a certain pressure because we needed to reinvent ourselves and come up with something as compelling, at least as compelling, but on the other hand also creating something with the confidence of having achieved already something. So it was not only sheer pressure.
During your presentation, you talked about that Normand, the composer for Heavy Rain, couldn't complete his work. Like, what was it like working with the guy? Like, would it have changed the feel of the game if he was still able to work on the game?
It's a difficult question. Norman passed away in the middle of the production, and so it's been a terrible shock for us, for the entire team, because we had worked on Fahrenheit with him. He was the lead composer on Heavy Rain. At the beginning you feel like lost. We really didn't know what to do. And then, at one point we need to just move on and find another solution. I'm really thankful to Lauren Balfour, who's the composer of Brian, to having taken on board the project at this stage. And he had less time than we would have hoped for, because what happened to Norman, and he did an incredible job.
Great.
And we have a fantastic soundtrack. I'm very proud of it.
Sounds great so far.
Yeah.
Our last question. In a recent interview, David Cage said that he originally pitched Heavy Rain to Microsoft, but they turned it down due to story issues, I think it was.
Concerns.
Yeah. Would you consider working them in the future, or are you happy now working with Sony for the most part?
Well, we're happy to we're working with Sony since 7 years now. Very happy with this collaboration, and we've already signed the next project with them. Would we at one point work with another publisher? Of course, with any publisher. But we have a very strong relationship now with people who trusted us for many years, and we have a great collaboration. So we don't see the need right now to change.
Great. Well, thank you very much for
You're
taking
welcome.
your time.